Well, it's time to read the book Waking Up, A Guide to Spirituality Without Religion by Sam Harris. Structure and function. The right and the left hemispheres of our brain show differences in their gross anatomy, many of which are also found in the brains of other animals. In humans, the left hemisphere generally makes a unique contribution to language and to the performance of complex movements. Consequently, damage on this side tends to be accompanied by aphasia, impairment of a spoken or written language, and aprasia, impairment of a coordinated movement. People usually show a right ear, left hemisphere advantage for words. Digits, nonsense syllables, Moses code, difficult rhythms, and the ordering of temporal information. Whereas they show a left ear, right hemisphere advantage for melodies, musical chords, environment, sounds, and tones of a voice. Similar differences have been found for other senses as well. We know, for instance, that the right hand, sensation from which projects almost entirely to be left hemisphere, is better able to discriminate the order of a stimuli, while the left hand is more sensitive to their spatial characteristics. However, the right hemisphere is dominant for many higher cognitive abilities, both in normal brains and in those that have been surgically divided. It tends to have an advantage when reading faces, intuiting geometrical principles and spatial relationships, perceiving wholes from a collection of parts, and judging musical chords. The right hemisphere is also better at displaying emotion with the left side of the face and at detecting emotions in others. Interestingly, this obliges us to view one another, least expressive side of the face, the right, with our most emotionally astute hemisphere, the right, and vice versa. Psychopaths generally do not show this right hemisphere advantage for the perception of emotion. Perhaps this is one reason why they are bad at detecting emotional distress in others. Most evidence suggests that the two hemispheres differ in temperament, and it now seems controversial to say that they can make different and even opposing contributions to a person's emotional life. In a divided brain, the hemispheres are unlikely to perceive self and the world in the same way, nor are they likely to feel the same about them. Much of what makes us human is generally accomplished by the right side of the brain. Consequently, we have reason to believe that the disconnected right hemisphere is independently conscious and that the divided brain harbors two distinct points of view. This fact poses an insurmountable problem for the notion that each of us has a single, divisible self, much less an immortal soul. The idea of a soul arises from the feeling that our subjectivity has a unity, simplicity, and integrity that must somehow transcend the biochemical wheelworks of the body. But the split brain phenomenon proves that our subjectivity can quite literally be sliced in two. This is why Sir John Eccles, a neuroscientist and a committed Christian, declared against all evidence that the right hemisphere of the divided brain must be unconscious. This fact has interesting ethical repercussions. For instance, the biologist Lee Silver wonders what we should do if a person with a split brain wanted to have her right hemisphere removed because she could no longer endure the conflict with her other self. Would this be a therapeutic intervention or a murder? However, the most important implications are for our view of consciousness. It is divisible and therefore more fundamental than any apparent self.